Hello friends, welcome. Thanks for being here with me for this 20-minute gentle stretch and pause practice where we'll be working with the theme of kindness. And so through this floor-based gentle practice, I'll offer some suggestions of places to move into, different shapes, different poses. But ultimately, you know your body best. You know what you need, you know what feels good, and so listen in to your inner wisdom. Listen in to that little voice that knows what's right for you. And so we'll start in a comfortable seat, wherever that is for you, whatever feels comfortable in this moment. And as we flow together, friends, feel free at any time that inner wisdom speaks up and says, hey, you know what would be really nice here? Or what might feel good there? Go with it. What I'm offering you is suggestions. Take what you need. Feel free to leave the rest. As we start in our tall, comfortable seat, the shoulders roll down away from the ears. You get a little taller through the crown of the head. Let the eyes close or take a soft gaze if that's more comfortable. And notice your experience in the moment. Notice what happened for you as soon as the eyes closed. No judgment with whatever you find, no labeling it as good or bad or supposed to be's or should be's. Let that all go. Just notice what the experience actually is in this moment, even if it's uncomfortable. So for example, admittedly, I closed my eyes and I panicked for a moment. It's one of those moments of, oh my God, my brain is so busy right now. What do I do next? What do I say? Am I doing this right? That was my experience, and that's valid. It's important to notice those feelings. It's important to notice those experiences and not necessarily hold on to them or overanalyze them, but it's important to validate and acknowledge that they're there. To say, yeah, I am feeling a little panicky, a little uncomfortable in this moment. How curious. If we treat our experience with a sense of curiosity, we come from a different place, rather than judging, labeling, or assessing. So let's try that one more time. If your eyes have opened or the focus has shifted to my words, close those eyes again. Bring that focus inward. And this time, take a really deep cleansing breath. Inhale, fill the lungs. As you exhale, open mouth, release. Let it all go. Take two more like that. Really dramatic cleansing breaths. Big inhale into the lungs. Feel the shoulders rise, the belly expand. And then as you exhale, open mouth, release. Let it all go. Take that one more time. And as you release that next exhale, the shoulders begin to roll down and back, finding a little bit of movement to let them settle away from your ears. When it feels right for you, let them release, drop them down, and then take a big inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead, palms meeting at the peak. As you exhale, hands drop down to heart center at Anjali Mudra. Make a connection there. Let the thumbs rest right against the heart space for a moment before inhaling, rising back up. Palms meet at the peak. As you exhale, perhaps those thumbs even brush along the third eye, your lips, your throat, and heart. Creating a physical connection with those places, a physical connection with the breath, the body, and the moment. And as you continue those sun breaths for a few more rounds, taking whatever pace, whatever breath serves you best in this moment, I'll share a reading by Dana Faulds. It's from her book, from root to bloom, and the poem is entitled Awareness, Knowing Itself. Settle into the here and now. Reach down into the center where the world is not spinning and drink this holy peace. Feel relief flood into every cell. There is nothing to do, nothing to be but what you are already. Nothing to receive but what flows effortlessly from the mystery into form. Nothing to run from or to run toward. There is just this breath. Just this breath. Awareness knowing itself as embodiment. Just this breath. Awareness waking up to truth. Continue that round of sun breath, letting the hands land at heart center and pause. Take a moment, maybe placing one hand over the heart, the other over that hand. Feeling connection with heart space. Set your intention here for practice. And if, as I suggested that, you immediately had an idea, you knew what your intention was, you knew what you came here to do, then go with it. However, if your experience was more along the lines of, I don't know, let me suggest kindness. And I'll be a little more specific. Throughout this practice, meet yourself exactly where you are. With kindness, with compassion, with acceptance, and without judgment and labeling. On your next inhale, slow sweep with the hands up overhead. Rise and reach. Get long through the fingertips. As you exhale, drop those hands right back down by your sides. Tented fingers, shoulders melt away from the ears. Tuck your chin. Inhale, rise and reach up overhead. Gaze follows. Exhale, drop the hands down. This time, maybe they slide back behind you a little bit to allow for more heart opening. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, release. One more time, inhaling, rising and reaching. Exhale, release. This time, take a pause. Let the heart press forward. The shoulders melt down your back. Keep the chin tucked just slightly and imagine you're breathing nothing but kindness, kind words, kind emotions, compassion. It's being breathed right into your heart space with every inhale. And as you exhale, we choose to let go of judgment. We choose to let go of labeling. We choose to release words like supposed to be, should be, and have to be. You don't have to use those. There's so many other words in our language. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Reach those hands in front of you. Create a C shape and release all of the breath. As you inhale, slow, rise back up to that tall seat. Circle the shoulders down and back a few times. Let them release away from the ears. When you feel satisfied, there. Swing those legs around or wherever they are. Find your way to your back. However it makes sense for you. Take your time. Lower in. And when you get there, get long from fingers to toes. Good morning stretch for a big inhale. As you exhale, knees into the chest for a squeeze. Release the breath. Drop the soles of the feet down to your mat. Let them land nice and flat. And you decide what feels best for you here. Those knees can be right in line with your hips, or you might take them a little bit wider than shoulders. Anchor the shoulders down, arms in line with shoulders, or maybe goalpost arms. And the knees begin to slowly flow from side to side, creating a slow and intentional windshield wiper knee movement. There's opportunity here to link this with your breath, to feel the connection between mind, body, and spirit in this moment, and to challenge yourself to meet yourself exactly where you are. So as the mind gets busy or distracted, can you meet yourself with kindness and compassion rather than judgment and harsh words? Those things aren't helpful anyway. They're not effective. There's plenty of research that shows all beings, humans and animals alike, respond to positive reinforcement more than negative reinforcement. And even when those individuals sometimes respond to negative reinforcement, you can get results from that sometimes. It's not lasting. So when we do things like guilt, shame, blame, or all of this supposed to be, should be, baloney narrative, that's a place of negativity. It's a place of lack. It's a place of judgment and no self-compassion or kindness. And so again, being honest, maybe you'll see a little bit of results motivating yourself from that place at first, but it won't last. It will result in things like yo-yo dieting and extreme behaviors that end up often making us feel worse than when we started. So if instead we can change the narrative and come from a place of kindness, come from a place of meeting ourselves exactly where we are in the moment with compassion, love, and kindness, acceptance for where we are, while also working to be the best version of ourselves. That's where we want to be. We can have acceptance for where we are while still moving in the direction that we want to go. Not only will that change be more positive and progressive, it will be lasting. We'll have the opportunity to create lifestyle changes rather than a temporary change, getting ready for an event or a summer or an outfit. Take a pause in your windshield wiper knees if you haven't already. Bring the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And maybe there's a little rock side to side on the low back. As you rock side to side, you get a little massage on the low back, a little massage into the hips. And you might notice a shift in your experience as you do. For many of us, we store emotions in our low back and our hips. So you might feel a flood of emotion, you might feel a flood of sensation to that area, maybe heat or tingling or release of tension. Notice. Whatever comes up, it's with the goal of being a mindful observer. Observing from a place of curiosity rather than judgment. Rather than attachment to outcome. We appreciate what is as it is from moment to moment. Begin to slow down and release your movement, extending the legs long. Arms come up overhead. Take that good morning stretch one more time. Big inhale as you stretch long from fingers to toes. Exhale. exhale, release that stretch and find your way to a comfortable pose, to a comfortable shape in your body. Maybe that's your resting pose, but it can be anywhere that serves you. There's no benefit in comparing to others around what we should do, what we're supposed to do. If your Shavasana feels best seated or with gentle movement, that's where you're meant to be. Go with it. We get further going with the flow rather than resisting the tide. As you land here, big cleansing breaths to really arrive in this moment and in this shape. Inhale into the lungs. Feel the expansion. Notice where the expansion happens. And then as you exhale, open mouth release, let it all go. Notice where the breath releases from. Where do you soften? Where do you sink in a little bit more? What else can you let go of with the breath? Be intentional. You can even turn your breath into a mantra as you settle into your Shavasana. Perhaps on the inhale, it's something like, I am grateful, kind, and compassionate. On the exhale, I release judgment, self-doubt, and attachment to outcome. Fill in the blanks with what works for you. I inhale confidence. I exhale uncertainty. I inhale love. I release being guarded. What do you need a little more of here? And what is serving you no longer that you can choose to release? On your next inhale, breathe in just a little bit more fully. And begin to find some movement, maybe a wiggle, a circling, or a stretch. Create a connection between mind, body, and spirit here by coming back to the breath. Notice as much as you can about the breath. How does it feel? What is the pace? Is it warm? Is it cool? Is there a scent around you? And as you maintain that connection with your breath, that internal focus and connection, begin to slowly and intentionally make your way to a tall, comfortable seat. No right or wrong way to get there. No rush to do so. 3 of those cleansing breaths allow you to arrive here and settle. With each exhale, something softens, something releases. Maybe the shoulders melt down. Maybe the tongue releases away from the top of your mouth. Perhaps the mouth opens slightly, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the face. Allow yourself to arrive here, to be here in this moment. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Perhaps bringing your mind's eye back to that intention that you set for yourself earlier in practice. Perhaps adding to it and taking with you the decision to meet yourself exactly where you are today. To give yourself permission to be wherever you are and to treat that with the role of mindful observer. Not attaching to the emotions, not attaching to the situations, or attaching to the outcomes. But instead letting go and releasing into. Letting go of control, letting go of judgment. Allowing yourself to be here exactly as you are. We'll share our last reading from Dana Fald's From Root to Bloom. And it's entitled My Authentic Voice. When we talk about the authentic voice, we're referring to that inner wisdom, that intuition, not the voice of judgment and shame and blame. That's usually the ego. We call it the inner mean girl sometimes. Inner mean girl, inner mean guy. The authentic voice is the kind voice, the one that meets you with honesty and truth and compassion. My authentic voice. I know my authentic voice because it moves me like no other. Emerging not from the grooves of habit or belief, but out of far left field, or wherever the mystery resides in me. It surprises with honesty, or it shocks me out of my complacency. From the babble of competing voices in my head, this one stands out. I know my authentic voice because integrity insists on being noticed. It delivers the experience of truth, the take my breath away instant, when presence fills every cell of me with yes. On your next inhale, slow rise of the hands up overhead, reaching for the sky before palms meet, and exhale down to heart center. Maybe you gently brush the thumb by third eye, lips, throat, and heart as you go, making that physical connection once more before taking 2 more of those breaths. As you do, your own pace, your own breath, we make a choice here to think kind thoughts. We make a choice to speak kind words. We make a choice to be kind, knowing that kindness, like most things, starts internally before it can be expressed externally. Namaste. practicing with me. I am always so grateful that you do. I hope you enjoyed this practice of gentle stretch and pause, and that perhaps it made you think about kindness a little differently, or stuck with you in a way that you can incorporate a little more kindness in your practice. If you have requests for future practices or feedback about this one, I'm always happy and grateful to connect with you guys. I love hearing your perspective. I love hearing your feedback, what worked for you, what didn't, what you loved, what was challenging. Until next time, be safe, be kind, continue choosing to be well. Have a great day, wherever you go from here.